Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video I will be showing you how I make a rice paper sail cake. I am using a carrot cake for this, so I baked some fresh carrot cake and they have some walnut pieces inside the cake. I baked them early in the day, so I wrapped them in cling film just to keep the moisture inside the cake, which really helps. So here I'm just unwrapping the cake. I have 4 layers, I believe, actually 5 layers, so it'll be quite a tall cake. You can see the lovely moisture of the cake. I'm also using cream cheese frosting for the middle of the cake. So for the inside of the cake I'll be using cream cheese frosting, and for the outside I will be using buttercream to decorate, as cream cheese is not stable. So I will be stacking my layers, as you guys know, nothing new here, stacking my layers using cream cheese frosting on the inside of the cake. Something to note is that this cream cheese has actually been in the fridge, hence why it is a bit firmer than you're probably used to seeing, so I'm able to work with it for longer without it being unstable and melting basically. So I'm just going to stack my cakes, stack all 5 of my cakes, doing the same process, and I'll be back once done. So you'll see here that I'm holding the top of the cake whilst icing the cake, and this is just because the cake is a carrot cake. So here we're almost working with 2 levels of moisture. So we have carrot cake, which is an oil-based cake, so it is more moist than your usual Victoria sponge, and we also have cream cheese frosting, which is less stable due to the fat content, and that's why I'm holding the top of the cake, just to stabilize it. So now I'm just bringing in the cream cheese frosting on the sides, pushing the cake, making sure it's straight. Feel free to be a bit vigorous with your cake when needed. I've popped that in the fridge and I've just taken it out now that it is firm, and let's start icing our cake. So I'm doing a crumb coat here, and you'll see that this frosting isn't the usual buttercream. This is actually white chocolate ganache, and I decided to use a ganache frosting here because I wanted the cake to be firm. It's really hot in the UK at the moment, so I wanted the cake to be firm, and I also wanted a nice whiter colour than what buttercream provides, because I knew that my rice paper sails were going to be quite white. So I'm just pouring over the white chocolate ganache on my cake, and it is runnier than buttercream, which is fine. I've poured it on the top of my cake, and I'm just adding more as of when needed. This is probably my 2nd or 3rd time working with white chocolate ganache, so I am by no means a pro at all, but this is just what worked for me, and I still plan to practice and get better. So yeah, watch me ice the cake. So as you see, I started off from the top, so I poured the white chocolate ganache on the top, and I just let it drizzle down the sides, just like if you were doing a drip cake, but of course a lot more icing, and I let that drizzle down the sides. And now what I'm doing, I'm basically going over the sides of the cake, making sure that every naked part of the cake is covered, and I basically do that until I'm satisfied with it. and then I will get my cake scraper and scrape it smooth. So once I've scraped my cake and it's smooth as possible, I pop that in the fridge. I popped that in the fridge for about, I would say, an hour, and now I'm going back in with my second coat, and you could see that the ganache has thickened up, and I'm just pouring the ganache on the cake, letting it drip down the sides, and using my offset spatula to bring it in on the sides of the cake. Don't worry if it goes over the edges, that's fine. You can just pick it up from the bottom and work from it like that.
On the beat.
So as you can see, my ganache is starting to set now. That is a key thing about ganache. You do kind of need to work fast because it will set. It is chocolate and it will set. So you'll see here that I'm just filling in the gaps in the cake, so any bit where there's an uneven part, and I'm just filling those in and smoothing that out. You can tell that working with the ganache does take Okay, so I'm happy with my cake and it's nice and smooth. I put it in the fridge to harden up a bit, and I have got my white rice paper sails here. If you guys would like a tutorial on how I actually achieved these rice paper sails, please let me know in the comments below. But I'm pretty much just putting them beside the cake. I first of all like to play around with placement, see what works, what doesn't work, and I like to basically make a gap in the cake by cutting the cake or putting a dent in the cake so that the rice paper cells can go in without breaking. So I'm going to speed this up because it's all pretty much the same, but I'm just playing around with placement, seeing what looks good, and working around with that. So I finished placing all my rice paper cells on the side of the cake. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I've just got my topper here, which I dropped. I've just got my cake topper here, and I'm placing that in the center of the cake. This is an acrylic cake topper, and because ganache is quite hard and it's quite firm, you'll see me here, I'm just trying to make an impression in the cake so it can stay in. I don't usually use any kind of frosting to keep this on, to be honest. By the time the topper touches the cake, it will just imprint and stay there, and that's pretty much the cake. You'll see that I took it off again, you can see the imprint, and I'm basically placing that in the same position and just pressing in hard enough so it makes an imprint and stays in the cake, but not hard enough that I destroy the cake. And that is it, guys. This is my rice paper cell cake. Very simple. I absolutely love the look of it. It looks very elegant and chic, and also very unique as well. But that is it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope to see you in my next video. Please like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and I'll see you in my next video. Also, let me know what you would like to see down in the comments. Take care.